Back to our sucky ways. Look at my derpy little dude there. I think I can make him a little bit bigger. Move him a bit. I don't want him to... Yeah, I think that's about right. Lovely. Let us continue the mystery. Thank you for having me, Mr. Van den Weyden. Oh my god. Jesus, dude. What's with that smile? Ugh. Creepiest thing of all in this game. Terrible. Okay. No need, no need. I'd be happy to assist your investigation in whatever way I can, Miss Swolensky. That sickeningly sweet smile. That's a sweet smile. Horrifying. And his office spacious but oppressive. Here is a man who knows how to subtly unnerve people. Subtly? That's okay. But does he even realize it? I am sure the presence of the esteemed Edison Payne will guarantee I am totally transparent. Am I right, Edison? Oh yes, the guy that can't talk. Looks like I've interrupted a friendly meeting. In the far corner of the room, I spot glasses of blood, 2 spittoons, vices, follies of the rich. Are you sure I'm not wasting your time? Not at all. Busy as I might be, I can't say I'm not curious about the findings in the case. Yes, my thoughts exactly. So, how are you handling your newfound responsibilities? I'm managing. I'll start by asking the obvious. Where were you the night Douglas Callahan met his untimely demise? Van den Weyden raises an eyebrow and then lets out a restrained chuckle. Hear that, Edison? I might be suspected of foul play. Exciting, isn't it? Carter, no antics, please. Just answer the question. Of course. Well, I was right here, just like I told Prince Panhard. Ah, Monsieur Le Death. Hey, dude. Tales game, yeah, for sure. It's quite a bit of reading and not a lot of gaming, but I like it. I kind of enjoyed it so far. I think I had. Wait, I think I can check. Yeah, free choices in this whole game, really. These Julia traits things, yeah. That's about it. This whole game, free choices. Something like 7 hours. Sometimes one has to celebrate the amount of work piling up their desk. So your alibi is you were right here. Alibi? Ah, yes, I suppose. I saw the game ended when I saw it. Did it restart, or something? Or open new dialogue? Oh, I died once. One of the choices is death. And I think my last stream, I got a phone call, and that kind of abruptly ended the stream. Yeah. Can anyone back your story? Well, I did make a few business-related phone calls as I was working, so there's that. That doesn't really answer my question, does it? It regards me with a stare reserved for a troublesome child. Miss Swansky, this right here is my private little fortress, a space of specifically designed to make me focus. Focus? Focus? I do not really let people in to break that focus. Ah, good man. Aside from the occasional esteemed guests such as yourself and of course a few wonderful Mexican women responsible for the cleaning duties. So you don't have an alibi. The look in his eye screams, why won't you at least pretend to try and get on board with my program, kid? I suppose, but why does that matter? Because I found something that belongs to you on the victim's person. Oh no. What was it? Pardon me? Took the words right out of my mouth. We were not talking a murder weapon or something of that caliber, of course. No. It was a short list of 4 names, unaffiliated kindred, whose services could be useful to anyone interested in topping the current balance in New York City. That's kind of weird. In NYC, but it doesn't sound quite right to say in New York City. Tamika, Hope, D'Angelo, and Agathon. Excuse me, Miss Swolsky, but I'm afraid I don't follow. How is that something that belongs to me? I have it on good authority that it was a short list you've been shopping around to anyone interested here in NYC. Be it the Camarilla or the Anarchs. Addison tenses up, and his host is not happy about it. This is preposterous. I'm calling your bluff right here, miss. No, the bluff is coming right now. Mr. Van den Weyden, if you want to voice concern about the information I have, how about you voice them to Kaiser, not me? Addison turns to Van den Weyden, clenching his lips, gripping his wheelchair armrest tightly. For a brief moment, the ever-present smile on Van den Weyden's face goes missing. Good. It's a creepy-ass smile. And the expression that replaces it reminds me of a horrifyingly void. Okay. Like a sneak peek into what's really going on into his soul. I think. He quickly collects himself, but the image is burned into my retina. To think these sort of unsavory rumors are circulating around me. I should be grateful you let me know. So you're denying it? Of course I'm denying it, categorically. You can bet your life savings on it. I'm certainly hope it's nothing more than an unfortunate blunder. Et tu, Brute? Come on, Addison. We've known each other for years. Yes. And what about it? I will. Sweet Jesus, Addison. I will get back to you in a second. Any questions, Miss Swonsky? Swinsky? Sowinski? I have no idea. Any of those names on the list sound familiar to you? No, I mean, yes, but in my long estranged child they're on your list. But that's just another reason why I'm flabbergasted anyone would consider it mine. I see. Well, I hope you understand why I'm considering you a prime suspect now. Yes, and I swear to clear my name as soon as possible. Scout's honor? Any more questions? I'm good for now. Sheriff Alasamai will probably contact you later. I will get in touch with him myself, ASAP. Once again, thank you for your work. He extends his hands towards me, practically forcing me to shake it. When he puts his hand on my shoulder, he leads me to the door, all too eager to see me off. Out of sheer curiosity, Mr. Van den Weyden, I have one more question. It might be a bit random. I really don't need to ask it, but I want him to die inside for a moment. I'm such a lovely gal. Such a lovely gal. Of course, my dear. His slightly strained tone suggests I might have succeeded. You seem a person who couldn't live outside the NYC. By chance, have you listened to Howard Stern's talk show after the World Trade Center fell? A tad unsure, but once again, carefully controlled chuckle escapes his mouth. Jeez, that's random. But well, New York, born and raised, just like you said. Of course I did. Your opinion? Same as everyone else. It was the spiritual guidance we needed that day, coming from the unlikeliest of places. A visceral response that verbalized everything we felt. A beautiful moment of unity. There were vampires when the towers fell, man. It's in this universe. Terrorists. Not that I'm into low-brow jokes about Pamela Anderson and the typical shock value the show tended to offer, but as far as I'm concerned, Howard did a indispensable thing that day. Why are you asking? No particular reason. I thought it might give me some insight into the kind of person you are. Well, that's the kind of person I am. Just your average New Yorker. So it seems. Well then, I leave you and Mr. Payne to your plans of conquering the city. Conquering the... Now that's spicy. Addison, I love this girl. She's going to go far, I'm telling you. She's got that spunk, that glint in her eye. Goodbye, Miss Swonsky. I wish you a pleasant respite and a swift success in your investigation. Good night. I make it a point to bow to Addison's servant, not the man himself. Doubt he noticed, But at least these invisible displays of rebellion make me a little better about myself. All right, the faster I live, the better. Julia, father, how are you holding up? I'm fine, stumbling around and hoping for a miracle to happen, like always. No better place to ask for a miracle than behind these gates, you know. So I hear. As I pass him the report about the Ainslings and Agathon, I look around, but Benoit is nowhere to be seen. Finally, a one-on-one chat. Where's Benoit? Should we ignore his... Well, let's ask about him. So where is that clown? Not very polite. You mean Benoit? You're the one who said it, not me. Sigh. In another parish, taking care of a personal issue for me. Thought you might appreciate that. God, I really do. Listen, can you think of something to placate him? Placate him? Exactly how? Then I won't accept anything less than me joining a convent. He's like a worried parent, a basic gesture here and there, showing up in church from time to time and pretending to listen, would get him off your case. Really? Mm. I mean, I've been through this song and dance before, with my own worried parents, when I was a teenager. Wandering in the forest until Mass was over, not even being able to smoke because they'd pick up the scent. Not the best moments of my life, you know. And a part of the reason I am distancing myself from them. I don't need this fake energy in my life. And I'm honestly weirded out by you asking me to lie. I'm not asking you to lie, Julia. Let me ask you this way. Are you a spiritual person? I guess I am. Kinda. Always was. Suddenly, being able to see ghosts did not change a thing. I think it's mostly because seeing the world as purely material seems boring to me somehow. You are, and you were raised Catholic. So you can't can't you find a way to express that spirituality in your church? I don't see a way right now. Why is that? I sigh. Too many people who think my soul needs to be saved. Because I live with a woman, for starters. I don't know, there are lots of reasons. Like the sin of drinking blood every other night, or feeling some primal fear whenever I walk by a clergyman whose faith seemed to actually be genuine. That one sounds like an excuse. It's about your relationship with God, not other people. In theory, but back in the old country, I've heard my share of homilies that felt like complete condemnations of my kind, and none that would condemn hate towards people like me. And you know, when church adjacent people try to stir shit around your very existence, every few months some minimal support would be appreciated. Sorry, all you can count on is silent complicity. I get it. I know there's a lot of work to be done and a lot of undeserved hurt going around, but. Listen, I don't even want to talk about it. I fucking hate the tone I use when I talk about it. I sound preachier than those preachers, and my biggest dream is just not to give a shit. That's want to free curse words in one sentence. But I remember things like the story about a guy from my hometown, most macho guy around, with a jaw you could sharpen a knife on, He became an actor in Warsaw, very successful, deservedly so. The capital might not be NYC, but it's still a big city, and big cities go to the heads of bumpkins like us. In his case, it resulted in a dream of coming out to his parents. He was surrounded by all these stories of openly queer people, played one even, so he thought he had a chance of making it work. So he goes back to his town, tells everyone he's going to live his truth. His dad, a ruling party adjacent businessman, curses him. His uncle takes him into the bushes and starts to destroy him physically. It's so bad that he gets put into the ICU. His face and jaw get ruined for good. Fast forward a year or two, his career is over. The guy is stuck in his parents' rustic house with no other path to follow. He turns to God, who tells him to forgive his kin. Everything is fine again. Angelic choirs sing the divine mercy. A kind-looking priest talks about protecting your family, our family. The man sits in the front row of a church, and a disfigured smile on his face. But that story alone doesn't drive me away. One time when I saw how blissful he was, I could swear he actually was able to hear God whispering to him. He looked like a saint. It fucked me up so bad, I left. I feel nauseated now. Maybe I'm still reeling from hearing about Kara and Jesse Montgomery. Now, if we could never talk about it again, that would be great. I know that I tend to sound like a loser who loves to pontificate about this shit, but I can't change. At least keep trying to change myself. Damn it. I won't offer empty platitudes, but I think I understand what I was meant to understand. I hope I haven't insulted you in any way. Whatever. I've learned not to hold people responsible for what the rest of their organization is doing. It would be hard looking in the mirror otherwise. Not that there's much to see in the mirror right now. I'm just wondering about one thing. There is always a cross on your chest. I like how it goes with my outfit. It's just a fashionable accessory to you. It's an important piece of the outfit. Something more. Good night, Father. It's an important piece of the outfit. It ties the room together. I like that rug. It's an important piece of the outfit. Will that be all? Yes. Have a good night, Julia. Good night, Father. I find her sitting in bed, scrolling through Pinterest on her phone. So how are you doing, detective? I fall onto bed, bury my face in the pillows, and scream. That bad, huh? I don't want to tell her about double spiral. I still have to figure out how I feel about it. I'm just not cut out for this. Oh, shut up. If you aren't, who is? Sherlock Holmes, Hercule Poirot, Columbo, Mads Mikkelsen's boyfriend from Hannibal. Never saw that show. Whatever his name was, I don't know. Someone who can actually put two and two together. I don't think we read a book about Sherlock. We did one with Hercule. You can't fool me into believing you are incompetent, you dumbass. I've read your articles. Don't pretend you suddenly forgot how to do your job. I haven't. But I have no evidence, no witnesses, no promising leads, nothing. I mean, other than the fact that ghosts point her in the right direction. She has nothing. But the literal dead talk to her, so how hard could it be? So yeah, I don't know. Jack Nicholson in Chinatown, and he actually solved his case. Something about water rights in that movie, right? Water rights in San Francisco, was it? And then he wished he never took it up. Was that supposed to cheer me up? I'm just saying that the situation you're in sounds an awful like Chinatown. Depraved elites, big plans for the city, blah blah blah. Yeah, that's depressing. It is what it is. I just think you should approach it this way and look for a solution to your problems outside of the box. Not as a mystery, but maybe like a trap to escape? Maybe. I throw myself on the bed again and lie there for a bit, staring at the ceiling. Then I approach Dakota from behind and tug her sleeve to draw her attention. Psst. Hey, you there. Uh-huh. Put the phone away. Now, come on, Jules. We can't do this every night. I've got my own work, and I need to worry about anemia. You said it yourself. Besides, I was looking for inspiration. I rub against her clothes with my face like a cat. You're impossible. Haven't you noticed what's going on in the news? People are going absolutely insane about this virus, canceling trips and orders and... Ooh, the corona is in this game? I was wondering when that thing's going to show up. Pretty please. I can't, honey. I have to replenish my stash, and besides, I'm worried about overuse. My brain is working a bit too slow, my balance is off. I was just thinking how I miss meditation. She's giving me clear signals, she just wants an excuse. And even though I would be the responsible thing to do, I know she's insatiable. She's usually the one that takes initiative. Let's try a final push. I bite her ear and whisper in it. No drugs tonight. Let's do it raw. She throws her hands up in the air. Victory. Jesus, you're greedy these days. I've always been, haven't you noticed? Okay. Can we do this one or we need rest? You need rest. Right, it's the end of the day. Let's rest. You're up early. Yeah, I told you. Got work to do. I stretch. That's admirable. Reminds me of that one quote you always used to throw around. A lot of people say you can't smoke dope and get drunk when you got kids. And that's not true. You can. But you still gotta get up in the morning. That's being responsible. That's the one. I never understood why it was so hilarious to you. Neither did I. I just accepted the mystery and made it my personal credo. I'm a responsible person. What was that movie where the guy gets to donate blood and he gets squished like a balloon? It was either a Naked Gun movie or some sort of Charlie Sheen comedy. One of those. That's how I'm imagining this chick. Let's see if I can find it. Being sucked dry. Mhm. I found it, but I still don't know where it comes from. Let me see if I can focus. I mean, like Space Jam, scary movie or something. I don't know. I'll put it up in a minute. In a minute. I've got it. I've got it. But I still don't know what movie it's from. It's this one. What movie is this from? Yeah, that's who I'm talking to right now. It's not this blonde chick, it's this guy. It's Naked Gun, right? Yeah, it was either Naked Gun or the Charlie Sheen ones. I think they have something like this. You know, it's funny. I found it by searching for "sucked dry movie GIF," and it didn't tell me the name of the movie. It just gave me the GIF. Excellent. Neither did I. I just accepted the mystery and made it my personal credo. I'm a responsible person. Correct. Are you planning to have kids? Not in a million years. By the way, you got mail. An envelope by the door. It's from Kadir. Inside a message saying he won't be able to make it tonight, but we'll rendezvous tomorrow to meet D'Angelo. He wants me to lay low until then, and to stay in this apartment if possible. Ooh. Apparently, nobody knows where Tamika is. They only know she's in trouble, and he doesn't want me near it. Well, what is it? Got the next lead to investigate. Looks like I need to hit the town. Next lead. Probably useless, but the investigation continues. Should be fun to spend some more time together, you know? Dakota, you know this is important to me. I know. But I like to know I'm important to you as well. I should just put the GIF when I'm talking to her. Just gonna put it up right over here. Yeah. This is whenever I talk to the lady. That makes two of us. A few more days and I'll find the killer, kick his ass, get a promotion, and then we'll do something we've never done before. Like what? Good question. I'll think of something. For now, I'll catch up with your work. I need to get going. Fine. Good luck. Stay safe. You know it. And we can take this off now. This place is weirdly empty tonight. Oh well. I'll have the usual. I feel there's a big "what are we doing in this relationship" talk coming if I don't change my ways. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised it hasn't already happened. But most of the time, Dakota has seemed happy enough just listening to the stories of my unlife. Even if all the boring and normal to me, it's toxic and engrossing to her. I guess I have that going for me. Ah, well. I have no idea what to do tonight, so I'll just go to the obvious thing and wing it. These vagabond shoes are longing to stray right through the very heart of it, or however it went. That's a Sinatra song, I think. Time to lose myself in these busy streets and pray that the answer I'm looking for are out there. And if they are not, maybe I will at least find some amusement or blood instead. Hmm. And we have two things to choose from. Camera shyness. No, I don't want to be part of your goddamn interview. Look, I cannot be the bothered for one goddamn second. You're not listening. Okay. Or Prince of Cats. I need to resolve this thing with Dakota. And if going around in circles on behalf of the court wasn't successful enough, maybe a visit to a quiet neighborhood will help clear my head. Sure, let's go with the cats. Why not? There it is, the district wide of Manhattan's residential area. Sniff. And a unmistakable scent of casserole enveloping the surroundings in a heavenly aroma. The atmosphere of desolation makes it feel like purgatory, though. There is not a single soul in sight, and... ugh, crap. Looks like I'm not alone after all. Some guy exerts himself climbing a nearby tree. I instinctively take a step into the shadows to remain unseen of his line of sight, but I can barely see anything from where I stand. Stay low, move closer, call him out. Move closer, let's have a closer look. My inner voyeur is squirming for more details. I move a few steps closer, keeping to the shadows. For a good while, all I can hear is heavy panting. Come on, dude, this oak isn't even that tall. Sure looks like it's the first time this guy ever tried climbing a tree. It takes a long time for the mysterious trespasser to steady his breath and carry on. As soon as he crawls out of the tree crown, the dim street lights reveal the face of a young guy in his early 20s. Against the spectacular night sky and with his exaggeratedly tormented romantic gaze, he truly looks like a hero befitting the cover of the Harlequin paperback. He sizes up one of the longer branches. It seems sturdy enough and nearly reaches a narrow window on the second floor. Still, the guy is hesitant. All right, no biggie. Just my eyes on the prize. He moves a few steps around the branch, his steps slipping every other step on his way to the window. By some inexplicable fluke, he manages to keep his balance. Once he makes it far enough, the branch slowly bends under his weight. He kneels down, probably calculating his chances to make it over the windowsill. My guy, if you pull this off, it would be a legit miracle. What? Is someone there? Ah, shit, I should have been more careful. I mean, talking, but yeah. Kind of. That's how you give yourself away, by talking. The trespasser pivots rapidly, startled by the sound of my voice. Just as he notices me, he loses his footing and dives straight into the front yard of the nearest house. Oh, shit. He drops to the ground with a muffled thump. Luckily for him, the lawn wasn't trimmed for a while, and the tall grass cushioned his landing somewhat. As soon as he recovers, the guy gets up and starts limping towards the fence. He tries to climb over, but quickly ends up back on the ground, clutching his leg in pain. He turns to me and starts begging under his nose. Hey, you! Ouch, shit, please, I'm hurt. Do me a solid and open the gate. Well, with his ankle twisted, he's not going to get out of this mess on his own. And it's not like I'm particularly law-abiding. I can break the lock. This is fishy. Leave him. Let the residents know he's here. Oh, we can do two distinctly opposite things. I'm assuming breaking the lock is going to bring the people as well. So let's do that. So why shouldn't I help him? Stay where you are, don't move. I don't know how to. And shut the fuck up. Relax, I got this. In 2 swift, bouncy steps, I reach the front gate. Obviously it's locked, but it's not like that ever stopped me before. Once I am sure no one can see me, I focus my strength on the gate and pry it until the quiet crack announces that the lock has given in. Okay. Quiet crack. Okay. The extraction goes as smoothly as it ever could. I get in quickly, take the guy by his arm, and help him slowly limp out of the front yard. I let go of him a few steps later. He leans against the fence with noticeable relief. Ouch, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. The hell were you doing up there? Well, this is embarrassing. More like falling on your ass, like that? He chuckles lightly, looks up at the window, the same one he was trying to reach a few moments ago. This is going to sound pathetic as hell, but my crush lives in that house. Her shithead father kind of hates my guts, so we get together in secret. Because of her folks' nagging, she can't seem to make up her mind about us. She explicitly told me not to swing by her house, but you thought it was a good idea to climb up the walls of her keep like a goddamn Prince Charming and break your neck in her front yard. So the keep as in castle is spelled the same as keep as in to keep. Okay, cool. My remark really gets to him. Yeah, but what can I do? Give up on her when in my heart of hearts I know she loves me just as much as I love her. It ain't easy being cheesy. She got you good, huh? That she does. Well, feeding opportunity. Ooh. We can be assholes. This game wants me to be an asshole. The only time I wasn't an asshole, this game killed me. So, let's be assholes. I listen to him. A familiar sensation begins to overwhelm me. Why are you looking at me like that? You have like the... She's looking at him and he has the hamburger head, you know, like in Tom and Jerry. He's a roast chicken right now. I swiftly latch onto his hair and drag his head back. When I bite down and drink, slowly quenching a part of my everlasting thirst for crimson liquid. As I release his listless body, the feeling of being watched strikes all my senses at once. I instinctively look up and notice the mortified face of a young girl looking down at us from the window. Oh no. Fuck. Tell me she didn't see. How dare you? And in front of my house. Daddy was right. You're a piece of shit, Prince. You. Just stay away from me. Ah, well. She. I guess I could put back the image with the guy. She shuts her window fiercely enough to break one of the panes. Well, at least she doesn't understand what really transpired. I take off in time to avoid being noticed by a furious family man who barges through the front door and immediately lashes out at poor Prince, who's still getting his shit together after my kiss. Another night, another fuck up. Better make myself scarce before the embarrassment catches up with me. All of a sudden, the world ends. Oh no. Everything stops. I'm lost in the darkness. And there's not even a heartbeat to guide me. It's like sleep paralysis, except it feels as if I suddenly woke up from reality instead of a dream. Instinctively, I react to it the same way I used to react to whatever I woke up in the middle of the night, aware but not able to move or speak. I just wait for it to pass. But instead of slowly regaining control, I just see a bizarre room emerge from the darkness. Just look at her, flesh refusing its fate. It is. Is it? It is not the one you are looking for, is it? He was led like a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep in silence before the shears, he did not open his mouth. There is no one righteous, not even one. There is none who understand, there is none who seek the God. All have turned aside. Together, they've become useless. If anyone curses his father or mother, he must be put to death. Are these ghosts? They kind of look like specters. Raging waves of sea foaming up their shame, wandering stars for whom it reserves the blackness of the darkness forever. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. This thing deserves at least 3 commas, right here, this sentence. 3 commas, please. Jesus. And in those days shall man seek death and swallow not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee for them. Whenever I become one with the darkness, there's always this nagging fear that I might be impossible to be normal, me again. That instead of the shadows returning to normal, I will let my consciousness be dragged somewhere else, somewhere between the worlds, somewhere like this, wherever this is. This is the first time that fear has come true. Are you afraid? It is a bad idea to answer. Don't do it. Yes. Ah, excellent. 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 I think I need to sit in this chair. I think I need to sit in it. This chair. Oh my god, look at all the options. Sit in the chair. Thank you for letting me choose to sit in the chair. Still, in the lean years, and unworthy of joining the rest, however, the path is open, and this is a path of obligation, liability, a debt that will be repaid one day. And when she asks you what brought you here, Let your response be a scent of death. Suddenly, I feel my mind beginning to drift away from here, and I am slowly starting to regain control over my thoughts. No, you aren't. Yes, I am. Fine, think whatever you want. I find myself in a dark corner, leaning against a wet, cold brick wall. I think that rhymes. Wet, cold brick wall. I think I'm conscious again, back from whatever it was, awake, but in an unfamiliar place. Well, let's just hope it's still in New York City. I emerge from the shadows to see where I am. A source of light above my head momentarily blinds me, causing me to instinctively raise my hand. As I do, I hit some sort of garbage bag with my hand. It falls to the floor, letting a loose metallic din. What the fuck? A woman. I feel her hand grabbing my clothes. She brutally drags me closer. With one of my hands already above my head, I raise the other. Easy, peace, I mean you no harm. How long have you been here? I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing here, or in general, really. It like sometimes the forces I control figure out how to control me. What are you? A junkie? No. You're kindred. Yeah. Keep your shit together. Damn it. I am Julia Solsky, the representative of the La Sombra in New York City. Camarilla? Uh-huh. I'm a Camarilla investigator. Well, if you came here to catch me, you're going to be sorry you tried, Miss La Sombra. No, 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 no. Stop it right here. I wasn't ordered to catch anybody. I'm just investigating the death of Douglas Callahan's... Switch that around. This surprises her. She loosens her grip slightly. Callahan is dead. Nothing left but a rotten carcass on a musty robe. Well, I'll be damned. I've been off the grid for too long. What brought you here? A memory of a different world pops in my head. Yeah, I think I know the right answer. A scent of death. She lets me go. I rub my eyes and finally get a good look at her face. Is that She's not the... Does she have the scar? She doesn't have the scar. She is gorgeous, and judging by her nomadic clothes and particular fierce aura, she is probably an outlander. We'll have to talk, you and I. Sure. What's your name? Tamika. Pass me a smoke, will you? Ah! You were looking for her. If only I could. My heart would skip a beat right now. Tamika. I guess once again someone out there led me to the proper path. Yeah, sure. When I pass her a cigarette, I realize I'm standing in something wet. Something that smells tasty. Onion ranch? I look at my feet and I see a puddle of water mixed with blood. My next guess would have been ketchup. I get it. Where are these guys fist fighting? The high-powered guns and expensive-looking outfits, flashbangs, tasers, all chosen specifically to combat the undead. I recognize the equipment from some horror stories I've heard. First Light C. Osocum, or whatever they call themselves. They all bleed up the same, usually before I have the chance to ask them a single question. Government-funded inquisitors. Some claim they are connected to the US government, some claim they are supported by the anti-kindred faction in the Holy See. Some have even wilder theory. Ah, well, at least someone opposes these vampires. It would have been kind of boring. Nobody opposed them. You did all this by yourself. Have you seriously seen nothing? Nothing at all? I shake my head. Believe it or not, I have no idea how I got here. I just kinda let the shadows guide me. Is that a La Sombra thing? I've never actually talked to any of you. No idea what you guys can do. Still learning the ropes myself. Go with the flow and all that. My embrace was just a few months ago. Ah, so you folks were in the ivory tower now? Last I checked, you were with the Sabbath. The Camies wouldn't forgive all of the trouble you caused them overnight. Again, I am practically a neonite. Neonite. I just know there is a lot of bad blood between my clan and the others, and that I can expect at least one glare of pure contempt whenever I visit Elysium. Huh, I see. Yeah, that's kind of weird. She represents the clan, but she's only been in it for a couple of months. And most of that time she was left to her own devices. She probably doesn't even know her clan, except that lady. We smoke in silence for a short while. Is there a large presence of Asia in NYC? Are you alone? Are you alone? Is this personal curiosity, an investigator's curiosity, or collecting intel for the Camarilla? Doesn't matter. I have nothing to hide. Yes, I'm alone. Every kindred on the East Coast benefits from these guys' deaths, but nobody wants to get involved. She flicks ash onto their body. Aren't they extremely dangerous? Almost got me good last year. Took me a few weeks to get back in action. Why are you doing this? Those motherfuckers have an unfortunate tendency to hurt people I care about. My brothers, my sisters. I see. I don't know how it is in the other cities, but here, funny enough, they only seem to target marginalized and radicalized kindred. Ones that could theoretically pose a threat to the current order. Meanwhile, the establishment in New York City hasn't really changed ever since Calebros stepped down. Quite the opposite. Every CI raid in the city has only strengthened the old paradigm. Almost makes you think that their goal is something other than protecting the citizens from the blank body menace. Tamika throws her cigarette into the puddle, unfinished, and crushes it under the heel. She obviously has difficulty smoking. It's like she's only ever tried it a few times. I assume she saw me carrying a pack and decided to try it to calm her nerves after the battle. Or maybe she just wanted an excuse to make our conversation less awkward. Who knows? So, you're planning to snitch on me, Shadow Girl? And why would I do that? Let me guess this straight. You really think I am dumb enough to believe for 1 second that a Camarilla investigator would just so happen to stumble upon the alley where I killed a bunch of CI motherfuckers? If so, you are the one who's dumb, sister. Looks like I need to show her I mean business, just like I showed Nastya yesterday. Look, I couldn't give two shits whether you killed one or a dozen or 1,000 CI operatives. Whatever, do your thing. But I do think you might be involved in a murder that actually concerns me. Callahan's murder. What? What are you talking about? I found this on his body. Well, what remained of it. I show her the note. She tries to grab it, to read it, but I don't let her. Aside from your name, we've got Hope, Agathon, D'Angelo. You know them? Passingly. Any idea why Callahan would need a list of all your names? I might know. Yeah. Do you? Absolutely. Do you know a man going by the name of Torque? Huh? Of course I do. Do you know about his connections with Boss Callahan and by proximity to this list and me? No, I'm all ears. Oh, I got another one for this. This was in Universal Soldier. See if I can find it. Maybe they made a GIF out of this. I'll just put this one, the one that I found. Any day now. All years. There we go. Now she's all ears. Ah. Well, too bad, because it's classified intel, sister. What do you mean by classified? Not free. Oh, great. As if I were in the position to, or could afford any sort of quid pro quo, but fine. Let's hear it. What do you want? Some motions towards the bodies. I've killed too many of these assholes. They're tightening the screws. As it is, New York City is no longer safe for someone like me. Well, not that it ever was. Oh man, bracing for something unreasonable. What I need is a way out of the city. You can offer me that? I give you the intel you need. Would you look at that? That is something I can handle, actually, yeah. She raises her eyebrow. That's a surprisingly confident answer for a practically still a neonite. I'm something of an immigrations officer. Gotta say, you sound awfully close to a cop. Almost as bad. A bureaucrat. I know of a secret pathway that could lead you to the coast. 100% safe self-travel, and if you look it, you'll be untraceable. Sounds too good to be true. What's the catch? Wait until you see how much it costs. The only reason I know this route is because of a certain nosy criminal group reached out to me on account of my position and offered a mutual beneficial deal regarding illegal kindred travel. Normally, I'd refuse, but they offered me the only thing that can buy me a lot of cash. Ah, then. Money's not an issue. Not that's something I've never had a chance to ever say in earnest. Okay, then. Guess you want me to help you out first? Yes, you want me to help you out before you have anything for me? Your hear me gif is still on screen. Yeah, well, I'm going to keep it. She's all ears for this whole conversation. I'll keep it for this conversation. She's all ears for the conversation, man. Of course. But would you even accept this kind of a deal? Hell no. Right. So we need to think of something that actually benefits both of us. She's lost in her thoughts for a moment, then speaks up. Have you met Torquay before? In the course of your investigation, or before? I wanted to, but on the Anarch side, I only managed to meet Mia, and she wasn't keen on the idea of the two of us meeting. Ah, yes, Mia. Her expression betrays she's got some vicious stories to tell, but it would benefit her to divulge them. Too bad. Maybe it could be a bonding experience. So here's the thing. A few months ago, Torquay and I were together. A lot of things happened. A long story short, I no longer feel close to him. But from what I know, he still feels close to me. But when I thought there might be something between us, I gave him a ring that has a lot of sentimental value to me, and since these days sentimentality is all that keeps me going, I want it back. So my suggestion is, tell Torquay's people I sent you to get inside his base of operations, meet up with him, ask him your questions, and convince him to give me my ring back. You get to interrogate him, and when I get to have my ring back, then you hear my side of the story. Then I get to leave the city with your help. Everybody wins? More than once. They really will let me in just because I tell them you sent me. They will, trust me. That sounds too easy. That sounds too easy. That caused the two of you to drift apart. Irreconcilable differences in worldview. Well, I assumed so, but that's a diplomatic answer. If I'm going to involve myself in the relationship drama of two ex-lovers, I need something more to go on. Will you? Yeah. She picks her words carefully. I realized I had become an element of his carefully crafted, projected image. Having me as a radical partner allowed him to present himself as a mediator while paying lip service to revolutionary ideas. A mediator, that's the 21st century for you. Everyone wants to be a middleman these days, and nobody wants to do what's right. You serious? Whenever I hear about Torquay from the Anchilla, they talk about him like he's a second coming of Mao. If he ever seemed like that, it's only because, from time to time, people like me pushed him into doing an uneasy thing. Ever heard of the southern wolf or the northern fox? Both of them want to eat you for dinner, but only the southern wolf makes it immediately obvious. The tricky northern fox makes eyes and allows you to pet him before taking a bite. Tokay loves to surround himself with northern foxes. They talk of compromises. They seem reasonable compared to the opposition, but at the end of the day, they have eyes on the same prize. Power. Hearing this gives me a foreboding feeling, but I can't quite nail down why. Lots of hearing. Lots of hearing. All right. Tell me where to go, and I'll tell you where we'll meet later. I guess we're done with all the hearing. I'm just chilling at Torquay's when suddenly a shrill, loud voice pierces my eardrums. What the hell are you doing here? Ah, yay, it's the PC lady from Torquay's inner circles. None of your business. Are you always this pissed off? Only the ivory tower bootlickers pop up to ruin my day. If you want me to act happier, make yourself scarce. No can do. Your boss let me in here. The hell he did. Get out. I thought you'd be more open to cooperation after our last talk. Not when you're trying to make deals behind my back, bitch. Mia, it's okay. There he is, walking through the door, one of the most infamous New York City barons, or, as some people started calling him the moment Callahan met his end, the Baron of New York City. Torquay, we need to talk about this. The situation is a little bit different now. Tamika sent her. What? Bullshit! I won't be able to track her down for weeks. I wasn't able to track her down. Well, I did. And guess what? It took me one night, you clown. Yeah, it took me one night of a teleporting couple of ghosts to bring me there, but sure. I had enough of this bitchy henchman for the week, so I can't help but put her down. She stops, shoots me a hateful look, but Torquay gestures at her to stay quiet. This is a reason for celebration, not to get mad. Now, if you allowed the two of us a private conversation. No way, I want to keep an eye on her. You can still keep an eye on the exit, and that'll be enough. Please. He puts on his best authoritative tone, and it works. No protests this time. Mia leaves the room. When talking to Mia, you mentioned cooperation. First I've heard of it. I tried to make friends with her so that the investigation would go more smoothly. Looks like I wasn't appreciated. I'm sorry about her. She can be overzealous, but usually that's not a bad thing. Yeah, sure. So, has she told you I've been trying to reach you for a few nights? I don't think so. Have you? Well, I'm the dumbass the court ordered to investigate Callahan's final death. So considering your connection to the case, I thought I would be prudent for us to talk. Ah, so that's you. Yeah. Now I got you're probably anxious to hear about Tamika. I'm surprised to hear you two know each other. We actually met through this investigation. Anyway, as I was saying, I know you probably can't wait to hear about her, but I'd like to ask you a few questions first. Understand? Do your job. Did you know Douglas Callahan? Of course I did. We're both barons. Keep having professional obligations to meet each other. But that's it. What's your private opinion of him? Hmm. Same as everybody else. A racist clown, mentally stuck in the 19th century, who spent too much time keeping the anarchs down. I'm glad he's gone. You mean you're glad he met final death? Well, you know what they say. Hate to see you go, love to watch you leave. Oh, that's a good saying. Weren't you the first kindred who saw his corpse? I was. But it was his ghouls who found him. By the way, they've established that some of them tampered with the crime scene. They were probably disciplined for that. Convenient story. Let's move on. What's your alibi for that night? None. I was running around town the entire night, taking care of various issues unrelated to Callahan, but I don't intend to divulge them to someone from the ivory tower. So you have no interest in providing yourself innocent. My official position has been made clear. It's the Camarilla who are to blame. It's your job to prove me wrong. Kurva mak. At least for once, I can face a problem that can't be solved with pure logic, not politics. We will have Polish cursings. Any findings on your side I should know of? Ask Mia. She's the one who handled the murder case. I'm not privy to all the details. Hope D'Angelo Agathon. Any idea who these people are? Can't recall. Sorry. The evidence I found suggests a potential link between Callahan and Tamika. Any clue? I knew both of them well, but as far as I know, they've never met. That's it. Ah, well, not sure what I expected. He's the kind of guy that could only be pushed to talk if I had something concrete to push him with. Time to move on. Well, regarding Tamika, finally. I'll cut straight to the chase. She wanted to inform you she'll be skipping town for a while. The SI is hot on her trail, and she needs to lose them ASAP. Oh, I've told her countless times. If she's in danger, I'll always be here for her. Does she think she can't find a secure way out of the city in this situation? She's safe. So you say. She's got some other friends in high places. She'll manage to get out. Gotta admit, that's not what I expected to hear. Or what I wanted to hear. Why did she decide to contact me? She wants her ring back. His aura changes in a blink of an eye. Ah, I see now. So that's why she didn't show up herself. Wouldn't even face me when delivering the final insult. Looks like I stepped on a landmine. She said this ring was a symbol of trust she put in me. No way in hell I'm going to give it away. Not until she gives me the chance to explain myself. I mean, she doesn't trust you anymore, dude. Also, weird for ladies to give guys rings, but okay. I need that ring to tell Tamika, to get Tamika to talk. But with the way he's acting, it doesn't seem likely that he'll be willing to part with it. It might require me to act shitty, but maybe time to change my approach. No, be brutally honest. Lie. Lie through your teeth. Excellent. Let's go with the lying. Listen, this is none of my business, but I think you've got something wrong here. How exactly? She still loves you. Poof. His only doe died for a short moment, but it's obvious it hit him where it hurts. You said you met her? How do you know? You just met her. She fought on SI patrol. We fought on SI patrol together. We won. That won me her trust. And then we had an inexplicably honest talk, woman to woman. Oh no. Glad Mia is away. If she's still in the room, I'll be far too embarrassing to let this shit escape my mouth. But Torquay just nods, prompting me to go on. She's conflicted. She understands the painful realities of this world, but she wants to hold on to her ideals. That's why it's hard for her to stay close to you. Even though deep down she resentfully respects. How does she resentfully respect your slow and steady work? She still wants to give her own approach a chance. Oh my God, what am I doing? Then why would she want the ring? To me, it's an obvious message. I was wrong to put my hopes in you. It's a punishment. She wants it to remind you by, and to have the symbol of those hopes near her, to remind her there's always another way. Look, I know it's hard for you, but you gotta give her time and benefit of the doubt. It will pay dividends in the long run. Slowly make her realize that her misconceptions might have been wrong. The realization slowly dawns on him. Oh my God, he's actually buying it. I'm dying inside. Takes the ring out of his pocket and passes it on to me. Go. Tell her I'll be waiting. And that my feelings haven't changed. Of course. Should Mia lead you out? No need. I'll manage. Excellent. I wonder if not lying would have worked. As I leave, I feel very self-conscious about the pace of my walk. I feel like I've just gotten away with murder. If he relays what I said to Mia, she will probably see through my bullshit in an instant. But, oh well. Won't be my problem at that point. Time to meet Tamika. I find her already waiting in the front of the Jewish Museum. How did it go? She raises her eyebrow as I put the golden ring into her palm. I'm quite surprised, to be honest. I didn't think you'd succeed. Turns out I'm a talented diplomat is the word. Yes, diplomat. From my experience, that usually means a liar. She looks at the ring with a gentle gaze, then stores it safely in her pocket. Or has he really changed? Who knows? I just met him for the first time in my life. Unlife. Anyway, I've kept my end of the bargain. Of course, it's time I kept mine. Last year, a certain fledgling appeared in the city and attempted to build a coterie. One of these games is called the Coterie of New York. That list you found at Callahan? That's the list they've got. They contacted each of us, then found themselves in deep shit. S.I. Kaiser, Sophie Langley, some shadow players manipulating everything from behind the scenes. Then they disappeared. Kaiser? That name popping up once again. Can't be a coincidence. No one knows where or why. Doesn't really matter. What happens when you punch way above your weight? Hope they're doing fine, despite all odds. Probably need to buy the other game to find out. In any case, Torquay got involved too. That's how I met him, actually. He got hurt. Don't want to say how. Claimed it could put anyone who knew in danger. Whatever happened, it gave him the drive and the desire for change. For 2 months, he was a beautiful kindred, plain and simple. But suddenly, something in him snapped overnight. His tone mellowed out, his actions became timid, his language became more benefiting the political scene of a student with than that of a charismatic leader. I assumed he met someone who made him an offer he couldn't refuse, but I had no idea who that was. And then, one night, I followed him when he went out, and I saw him scheming at the docks with Callahan. When he came back, we had an argument. When he refused to explain himself, I knew I was on my way out. And that was that. I understand. I wish I'd known that earlier. Might have confronted the facts with him and learned something more. He never told me, of all kindreds. What makes you think he would have told you? She's got a point, I suppose. All right, thank you. It's my turn. Here is your way out. I point to the manhole below our feet. Above our feet. Here is a map of the sewers. Follow the route, then burn it. You'll be looking for one-eyed Nosferatu wearing tactical gear. Tell him I sent you. Then give him the agreed amounts of money. What kind of a route will I be taking anyway? An armored van full of precious coffins. My man knows how to arrange them to allow for unnoticed extra cargo. Her face darkens. The circulatory system? What did you expect? The rich and powerful always get the blood they want, one way or another. At least tonight, one of their routes will be used for something good. Be right back. Okay, dude. She drops her shoulders in resignation and opens up the manhole cover. Fine, but remember, if it doesn't work, I'll be back at your doorstep with a vengeance if it's the last thing I do. I'm sure it will work out fine. Just beware of the giant albino ghoul alligator while you're down there. Tamika rolls her eyes. Sewer ghoul alligator, for your information, is just a story New York kindred tell the Neo-Knights to mess with them while they're still gullible enough to believe anything they hear about the New World. Oh, that makes sense, I suppose. Well, this is a goodbye. If in a few months you hear that the First Light presence in Los Angeles has been decimated, assume that against all odds, I'm still unalive and kicking. Unalive and kicking. Like undead and loving it. Oh, no, that was dead and loving it. Yeah. If you keep killing undiscriminately, you might cross a line of no return, you know. Shouldn't you take it easy for a while? Not until my brothers and sisters in blood stop being slaughtered. I care about what's left of humanity, but turning a blind eye on kindred in need would be even less human. So that's the person she is, and probably will be until the very end. It must be comforting, in a way, to know how your path will end, yet to follow it all the same. I could never do that. Here's some practical, oh, no, some parting advice for you. We might be monsters, but we are lucky enough to be born into a world that's even more monstrous than we are. If we rebel against it, we might still find salvation. If only I could believe that. Didn't expect the preaching tone, but why are you telling me this? Because I think I have a pretty good nose for people's auras. And when I take a good look at you, I smell a penchant for ruthless opportunism. I smell the possibility that you will give in to the fear of the dark visions of the future you've conjured up in your head. I smell a controlling anger that might get out of hand if you get a whiff of power. I smell someone who doesn't value the truth much. It's not much, but a hunch, but you seem prone to giving in to the Camarilla's empty promises for safety and their petit bourgeois values. I think I should take offense to that. I hope you do. That would reflect on you well. In any case, whatever happens, see you in the next life, Julia. Safe travels, Tamika. I skipped tonight's visit to the church. I'm not in the mood to see Benoit. I'm still embarrassed about yesterday's outburst. I'm kind of pissed. None of the clan handlers in Chicago bothered to reply to any of my fucking reports. No advice, no feedback, nothing. I feel like I'm left utterly alone. This is probably how they want it. Besides, it's late. I always get back to the apartment early in the mornings, right before it gets bright. It's getting risky to be out here so close to sunrise. Accidents can happen. I'll try to get back earlier tomorrow night. Attempt to surprise Dakota. Yeah. I'm back. Yay. How was work? All caught up? I managed to get my deadlines postponed. All our clients are canceling and delaying orders left and right. That means you'll have time to help me with my makeup tomorrow? We'll see. Perfect. All right. I need to disappear before the sun catches up with me. Excuse me. Yeah, I love you. Oh. An uneasy silence fills the room. It's not getting out of this. Well, I'm not getting out of this one, am I? Well, I've already come up with one love story tonight. What's another? I love you too. I quickly turn away to avoid looking at her sincere smile and leave to rest. Rest. I finally reached Big Beat Burger, hoping to recuperate from all the mental damage accumulated over the past few days. Only to find out that the doors are locked and nobody's inside. No, no, no. I need to be soothed. I need my routine. You've absolutely got to be kidding me. Closed? What the fuck do you mean closed? I mean, we're in the middle of the pandemic. Everything is closed. Aha! Pandemic game. Interesting. Pandemic? What pandemic? Do you live under a fucking rock? It's a new SARS virus, straight from China. The whole world is going crazy over it. People are dying left and right. Holy shit. I didn't know something like this could still happen in today's age. This day and age. Somehow, it always felt like we were beyond it. Well, guess it's lucky I'm dead. I walk away to avoid bringing more attention to myself. Now I understand why NYC feels downright apocalyptic tonight. It's like a psychedelic experience. To see those familiar streets empty and abandoned. Well, let's see what parts of the city are still alive in the middle of the plague. This one. I accidentally selected. I entertained the thought of sneaking through a hospital to see how things appeared to up close, but it looked like an actual war zone, so I decided against it. I don't know what I expected with the way healthcare reforms have been going in this state. Fewer facilities in poorer areas, fewer beds, less funding. We're just reaping what we've sown. That's why I used to honestly consider going back to the old country. An American friend was like, "Why would you go back to that shithole?" He was shocked to learn we have normal, free healthcare. Mm. Mm. We have free healthcare here too, but it's not really free. That is actually the truth. That is the truth. Um, so out of all the relatives that I know, they got surgery in a public hospital. Not one of them didn't pay a small bribe. And not just to the doctors, also to the nurses. That's customary. It's fucking awful. Welcome back. We're back. We've reached the pandemic stage in the game. We're it's a pandemic game, man. I didn't even know it. Anyway, if an active hospital won't do, this one might. The smallpox hospital on Roosevelt Island, built to quarantine the poor and the unloved victims of pandemics away from normal citizens' eyes. In spite of its despair, or maybe partly because of it, the architecture still manages to perfectly convey the building's painful history. There are ghosts here, but they are mostly the good metaphorical kind, not the kind I usually see. Looks like there also might be a lone physical being here. I hear someone sneaking through the ruins. That's That for my peace of mind. Oh well, I need to satiate my thirst anyway. Lucky sucky. How do I approach that person? Say hi, thirst. First, dominate. Through the shadows. Say hi first. Hello, I'm here to suck you dry. Not in any sexual way. I move closer to intercept them. I wait behind a corner for a moment. Then I emerge. I hear their steps nearby. Hi. What? In her panic, she drops something on the floor. It breaks into 1,000 little pieces. God, don't scare me like that. I'm sorry. Look what they made. Look what you made me do. She kneels to pick up the pieces of some ugly glass sculpture. The shape is familiar. Was that the Scrooge McDuck figure? What? Yes, it was. A Carl Banks design. They stopped making these decades ago. You don't even know how long it took me to find it. What? Scrooge McDuck? Scrooge McDuck glass sculpture. There are plenty of glasses. I think this is a bong. Hold on. Oh, I can't even save this. How rude. How rude. We have to steal it. Boom. This is who we're talking to. I was really looking forward to decorating my haven with this, a Scrooge McDuck. It's pop art, okay? Heaven. Of course. Now I realize that I couldn't put into words. It was the feeling she might be kindred. She seemed airhead and an eccentric, but I wouldn't want to pick a fight with her. Call it a hunch. Ah, so maybe it's a good thing we didn't dominate her? I apologize, my name is Julia. I'm a La Sobra representative of this city. Son representative you are. Absolutely horrible first impression. Somehow, we've never met before. You live here. I prefer keeping to myself these nights. More time for hobbies, if you hide in secluded places like this. What's your name? Just call me Princess. Princess. My true name is for my friends only, and after destroying my treasure, I quote you a sworn enemy. When you at least expect it, I will find you, and I will trap you in the reality of eternal pain. I should complain to the court at least, honestly. Tell Helene to start looking for a replacement. So sorry. Won't cut it, huh? Kadir would surely be thrilled to see Prince Helene assign me with a mission of looking for a rare Scrooge McDuck statue. But I prefer to avoid that fate, even if it doesn't seem very likely. How can I make it up to you? Should I, like, search for a replacement online or... whatever. Not going to lie to you. I prefer not to stay mad for long. It's exhausting, and it's a threat to your beauty, both inner and outer. So yeah, I think I'm going to ask you for a small favor. Then we'll be square, and I won't have to worry about becoming ugly. Sound good? What favor? See, I'm super into low art these days, but I'd collect stuff like Scrooge McDuck lamps. I used to be a hardcore into high art before, studied the harmonic structure of Bach's cantatas, taught myself Arabic just to weep over Middle Eastern poetry, read a lot of Joyce and Adorno, etc. Eventually, these hobbies got boring, as all things do, so I'm switching it up now. Comic books, heavy rock music, modern Hollywood movies, stuff made for small children, basically. The problem is, I think I'm still not low enough. What? There is still too much mastery of the form, too much restraint, too much respectability, too much tastefulness. She wants the kitsch. She wants truly kitschy stuff. I want to feel the rush of gazing into the soul of someone willing to admit to truly degenerate desires and obsessions. So I want the lowest kind of art you can find. Just sweep me off my feet, and we'll be good. Not the kind of a request I expected, but how low is low? There is no such thing as too low. Huh, okay. Back when I was alive, I refused advances from a guy who lived just outside Astoria. He definitely still owes some incredibly low art, but what exactly should I get her? Owns. Anime DVD. Video game. The lowest form of art. Video games. How ironic. Okay, I'll be back in a jiffy. It takes me just over an hour to get there, wake him in the middle of the night, mess with his head a little, and get back with an appropriate low work of art. So I've got something. Don't be shy. What is it? I show her a limited physical edition release of some obscure video game. So, have you ever played a video game? No, I don't think I ever thought of them as art. Well, see if the description my friend printed for me interests you enough to give it a try. Idea Versus. A lavishly budgeted American homage to the classics of visual novel style, meaning to usher a new era for the genre in the West. 21 students awake in the abandoned high school with no recollection of what happened to them. A horrifying machine announces they are now a part of a death game, and their only weapon is ideology. Socialism, libertarianism, conservatism, fascism. They all have their champions there. A series of intense school debates start, and every loser is sentenced to death. Political science meets Hunger Games. Note: all characters depicted in this game are 18 years or older. The uncensored patch has already been applied. So yeah, It sure does sound like low art. Eyes down, I await her response. This is great. It is. Yeah. I have no idea what I'm looking for, but I can feel that it's utterly degenerate and naked in its intentions. Just what I needed. Believe me, I've had more than enough of art trying to dazzle and win me over, or be used as a stepping stone in someone's illustrious career. I just want someone to be like, screw it. I don't want to impress anyone. I don't want to get anywhere. I just want to vomit out my soul for the old freaks like me to see. Sounds like streaming. I think that in its own way, that might be the ultimate form of art. So, my debt is paid? I suppose. So, can I call you... can I know your name now? Let me think. No. Heart emoji. She turns away and disappears into the night. Well, that was an interesting distraction for all the malaise in the city. I suppose it's time to get back to the miserable business I've been settled with. The time comes for me to meet up with Kadir and hopefully D'Angelo too. The last position on my list. This better be good. And let me take the Scrooge person out of there. This has been a lot of talking for me, and I will end it here. Thanks for stopping by, Dev. Yeah. Yeah. Bye-bye.